Hey everybody, back again for part 3 of the Inspire Paint tutorial. This time we're going to be using the Spaztics Silver Metallic as the base coat to really make our candy finish show up and look real good. So we're just going to use this straight out of the bottle. We're not going to thin it or anything like that. It's ready to go. And now that is with a 0.3 needle and nozzle in the Grex airbrush. I can't guarantee you that your airbrush is going to spray this without thinning it. If you have a bigger needle and nozzle than what I'm using here, you should not have a problem. And really, as thin as they have this, I really do not see a need to thin it out even more. It works great. Because one thing you also have to remember on this is with any of this flake type stuff, your flake gold or your flake silver or anything like that, you're going to want to open the airbrush up a lot more than you normally do, as far as how far the needle pulls back. So that when you do that, it actually makes the opening in the front of the airbrush a lot bigger and pulls the needle all the way back. So you're using all of the fluid tip, the diameter of it, to spray this material through. So all we're going to do is we've already shaken this up pretty good, and we're just going to put some of it over into the airbrush. And like I said, we're not going to do any thinning or anything like that with it. We're just going to spray it straight out of the bottle. And I have the airbrush compressor set on 20 psi with the trigger pulled on the airbrush. That's possibly going to change depending on what airbrush you're using, what size airbrush hose you have coming to your airbrush. There's a lot of different factors that can change that. Sometimes you have to bump the pressure a little bit more if you're spraying a product that you may have not thinned out enough or is not thin enough when it comes in the bottle. You can actually turn the pressure up a little bit more and kind of compensate for that. So we're going to go ahead and get this first coat of the silver down on here. And I always do a test out to the side to see how the airbrush is spraying. And in this case, I just got this Colorline primer can sitting here. And I dust a little bit on that just to see what it does. That's looking pretty good. So we're going to cut the booth on and we're going to go ahead and spray this roof section down. Now I haven't done anything to this since the last video. It's still sitting here. It's dried up now. I did not sand this or anything like that. If you spray it down with the mist coats, you should not have to sand it unless you have body work. But then on your last coat of primer, if all your body work is good, you should not have to sand it if you're spraying it properly out of the can. So here we go. All right, now I have the airbrush opened up a pretty good ways, so we're just going to start spraying this down with an even coat of the silver. You don't need a whole lot of paint buildup. You just need enough to color the surface and make it all silver and even. You want to make sure that your airbrush is very clean when you do this, because any black speck or pretty much a speck of anything that is a different color other than this silver is going to show up in your candy finish. So make sure that you're back far enough away from the part that you're spraying so you don't get tiger stripes in it. Like I say, when you're doing these base coats like this, go ahead and open the airbrush up, spray some paint. Don't be shy with it, but just don't get in too close, because then you'll have a chance of not only creating stripes in it, but also creating a run. Hopefully you can see how much is actually coming out of the airbrush here. I can't see the monitor right now to know, but there is a lot of paint coming out of the airbrush. Like I say, that's with a 0.3 needle and nozzle setup. So if you're using a 0.5 or a 0.7 or something like that, you're going to have even more unless you back the paint down some. we go. That's all there is to it. We have the silver base coat on. Go and shut the booth off here. And as you can see, I put some the silver in that airbrush, and I only used about half of it. That's all you need just to color that. So we're going to go ahead and put that back into the bottle. And a lot of people will, use strainers and stuff like that. That's not something that I do. It's if you have them and you want to use them, they're a good idea. It's just not something that I normally do. I'll just take what's in the clean airbrush. I know it's clean. I didn't spray any garbage out onto what we were spraying here, so everything in this cup should be clean. So I just dump it right back into the bottle and save it for the next time. And as far as the clean out at this point, what you want to make sure of is once you have the silver down, you want to make sure that your airbrush is cleaned out very well. You do not want any of this silver, these specks or anything that's in this airbrush to end up in your candy when you're spraying it. So even if you have to take the airbrush apart, pull the nozzle out of it, pull the needle out of it. Right now I'm back flushing some lacquer thinner through the airbrush, and off camera I'll go ahead and pull the tip off of this, make sure all that silver metallic flake is out of it. And that this airbrush is extremely clean when you start with the candy finish, because any little speck of anything that gets in candy is going to show up. And if it happens to land on the roof or the hood or the trunk, any upper surface of the model, and you're going to competitions, the judges are going to see that. So make sure that your airbrush is extremely clean. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm going to go ahead and take this apart, and off camera, we'll get it cleaned out. We'll come back on the next part. We'll put some of the candy orange in there, and we'll get this thing sprayed down with a coat of candy. So stay tuned for that. Be coming up real soon. Like always, I thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.